Fiscar Mas, Misha Fiona Lyon, agus seo Sarah McQuarrie, agus Hashin and Shaw and Jew son Bruin Mian Leivig sa Gaelic, agus Gusonishia sa Giachan Leivig Gaelic. And I'm just going to tell you what we've got in store for you today. We're going to talk about the project, we're going to talk about how this involves you, basically what we're aiming for, what we're hoping to achieve, and we're going to give you details of exactly what your role would be in terms of administration of the assessment. In Gaelic medium, we have to try and find some way where we have a sort of parity provision. In English medium, I could go to a whole shelf full of assessments to try and identify a child's needs. We need to rectify that, and that's what Sarah and I are hoping to do. So we're interested very much in looking at the language in Gaelic medium and trying to put theory into practice. Since the Gaelic Language Scotland Act 2005, awareness of the importance of Gaelic has increased dramatically throughout the whole of Scotland. And this has been supported by the Curriculum for Excellence, providing a context within which Gaelic can flourish and be used as a tool to promote excellence in education within the Gaelic-speaking areas and beyond. However, the same report also states that provision of resources has always been a challenge in GME, and that when it comes to additional support needs such as dyslexia, the lack of advice can be really worrying for many teachers. Indeed, as far as screening for difficulties with literacy and phonological awareness is concerned, GME teachers have traditionally had to resort to their own use of devising their own assessments, using an English screening tool or translating an existing one into Gaelic. Now, there's nothing wrong with the things that you guys have been doing, but why shouldn't we have something that is actually in Gaelic for Gaelic medium teachers, created by Gaelic medium teachers? 2001 was the first report looking at additional support needs and the lack of resources. In 2005, HMI once again highlighted the lack of suitable resources to assess and diagnose the difficulties that pupils were having. And more recently, in 2013, Bors na Gaelic, through their audit of additional support needs, they viewed a standardised reading test of Gaelic as a priority, together with a robust assessment for dyslexia, combined with support materials for the latter. So, we're not doing everything at once, one thing at a time. And most of you will be aware, if you're in the lower part of the school, the Gaelic Phonological Screening Test, which came out really as a result of the postdoctoral study that I did. This tool, it really took 80% of the population available in Gaelic medium, and it provides normative data which can be used to identify early if there are particular needs. So it's as a sort of screening tool, but not for primary 1, really for primary 2 or primary 3. And of course this could not have been created if it hadn't been for you teachers for actually being there and doing the research, which is the research level that we're at just now with the reading project. Why are we looking at reading? Well, we know that it doesn't matter what discipline you look at in education, reading is involved, whether it's just reading the question in a mathematical problem. And when we look at reading tests in English, there are so many different types of reading assessment. For instance, there are single word reading tests, there are sentence reading tests, there are story texts, there are reading comprehension passages with oral or written questions, there are closed reading passages, there are multiple choice reading passages, there are silent reading tests, and there are group tests and individual tests. So quite an array for us to choose from. And we're going to talk about now how standardised tests are actually created. First, there has to be a pilot study, and our pilot study was conducted in Skye. Following that, there's a main data collection, which is the large sample, and then after that there will be possible revisions out of what is the information that's gathered from the main data collection. So that's the process that we're going to be going through. So what does it involve? Well, pupils are given reading tests, and these are collated by us to create normative tables. There will be a retest, test-retest afterwards, And we also have to correlate some of these tests with other tests. And as there is no other Gaelic medium reading test, then what we're doing is we're using a listening assessment and one English assessment as well. What sort of numbers are needed for creating standardised tests? Well, we need as large a number of the population to be targeted as possible to establish these norms. So our aim then is to investigate children's reading skills during primary school within GME, and our findings will help to develop a standardised reading assessment. That is the ultimate aim, and we will be developing children's reading in view of that. Now, I'm shortly going to give you out what we've got as what we call a training pack, which contains not the whole assessment but part of the assessment. And that is what you will be sent to work on with the children. You'll be given everything you require, all the photocopying will be sent to you for the record sheets and so on. But you will require a couple of box files, one to put your completed consent forms coming from the children, and another one to put the completed assessments in.